Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conclusion of the grand piano set here on CaseyBuilds Live. This set, if you haven't been following me this weekend when I've been building it, it's absolutely incredible. Yesterday we finished off the keyboard here, which, whoop, and there I'm breaking it already. Slide that back in there. The keyboard has been such a technical masterpiece. You actually have moving hammers in here, and it's just incredible. The piano itself is inverted at the moment. I think we're about to flip back over, but just for the sake of keeping the time lapse that we're working on as consistent as possible, I haven't wanted to touch things between builds, or since build times. So here we go. We're gonna move on to tray 15, bag 15. I think it seemed to speed up yesterday, so I don't think we're even going to use 2 hours today. I think this is going to go quicker. So this getting the keyboard done, I think, was the heaviest lift here, just for the monotony of it all. So anyway, that's what we're working on now. We're going to keep going. Flip over to the build cam here, and let's see what we do next. Put that up there. See what we're doing. Oh, this looks like it's going to be the front lip in front of the keyboard tray. This is cute. It's got this little this gold piece, which I'm having a very difficult time getting out of the tray. There we go. Uh-oh. Something going on with my stream? Oh no, everything's fine. Okay. My screen's moved. Anyway, I think this gold piece is going to be at the front, which is just another nice classic touch. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I think I spoke too soon. I'm not sure which part I'm necessarily building right now. We'll know soon enough. But proper grand pianos have some. Oh, this is going across the top up here. Okay. There's a lot of consistent, stylish highlights that are part of grand piano design that you can typically expect to see, and little touches like this are great because this set one of the bajillion different ways that they've really nailed this thing is they've gotten so many of these little touches that are just perfect. I keep saying he, Donnie Chen, my new hero. So many of the different pieces of a piano that you don't really, you know them, you see them, and they're just standard, and you expect to see them, but you don't really think about them. He has all of these little perfect little details, making this piano just such an amazing set. Consistently just blowing me away. I've spoken with a few of the people over the last couple of days who normally watch, and I've been told that it would be helpful if I was a little more enthusiastic, so since that's been clearly lacking with this build. But I thought I was done with the keys, and it looks like we have one more key up top for the high C up here, which I had missed when I was looking at these yesterday. So we will in fact have a proper 2 full octaves, unless they plan on hiding another key in here somewhere. I don't anticipate that being the case, though. Okay, that's that part. And key itself. This one looks like it's going to be constructed just a little bit differently. One of those other things I was mentioning yesterday was all of the keys while building them, because they were all basically a very repetitive thing here. I got to the end of the day yesterday where I was mass producing these things and didn't really even have to pay too much attention because they were all the same. And this one is slightly different, so I need to make sure I actually do follow these directions instead of doing what I think they want me to do. That is, do what I think they want me to do without looking. Okay. There we go. And since this one's all by its lonesome up here, it's going to be a little bit different with how this thing gets attached. Quite a bit different. A weird little. That's another thing. When you're building Technic sets, especially, there's a lot of really strange groupings of pieces that, out of context, you would never really understand what they are. So you have some very specific, intricate ways that all these rods and things attach to one another, and they can look pretty weird, isolated. This hammer, on the other hand, is exactly the same as all of the other hammers have been, so. Just clip this onto the end here, and now our keyboard is complete. That's odd. The end of it here, actually, you can, if I hold it up, you can possibly see all of these hammers are all exactly the same. This one is actually a little bit shorter, so they had to do something a little bit different. Okay, here we go. Now we are putting it into the piano. So we need to flip this monster back over. Woo. Little rolly wheels work perfectly too. That's fun. Okay, so I assume this will slide back in, which is, I mentioned this yesterday, that is exactly the way it works on an actual piano too. The entire keyboard tray mechanism actually slides right out just like that. Oh, wow, that's really something. Okay, this one's off, so there we go. Something else I mentioned yesterday, there are some of these that feel like they are not as in the groove as they could be, and I have a feeling once we get this all together, that won't be a problem anymore. So I'll just leave that over there for now. Another quote from Henry Ward Beecher: "Music cleanses the understanding, inspires it, and lifts it into a realm which it would not reach if it were left to itself." Okay. That's highly philosophical. Don't know which piece we're building again. This might be a top tray. It looks like it might fit up there. We will know in a moment. If you've never looked inside of a piano before, it might come as a surprise to you, but there are actually a lot of red and blue or red and green felt pieces, and I don't know why those are the colors that they always are, but those are the colors that they always are. Red and green felt, and those are used throughout to do various things, and that is one of the many fine details that they nailed with this set, is getting those pieces right as well. Which, of course, they did. This set is about as close to perfect as it could possibly be, with the exception of this little wonky door. Oops. Yeah. It's impressive too. I think I started talking about this on the first day of the build, but it's very impressive how well this thing holds itself together. The larger a Lego set gets, typically you would probably it's probably counterintuitive unless you've built Lego before, but typically the smaller sets are actually a lot more structurally sound. And the larger the sets get, you might think, well, the more pieces you have in there, the larger the set is, the more structurally sound it would be, and it's actually not the case. A lot of times, the bigger they are, you start having physics issues where things will bow and flex because things are going a lot further of a distance, and this case of the piano, and despite everything that's going on in here and how open it is, it's still dense, and they were able to really get an amazing combination of form, but the structure and making it feel really, really solid at the same time, while having these single piece wide walls that are going around, and it's just, I'm just repeating myself over and over again. They just did an amazing job with this set. Okay. Not sure what this corresponds to yet. But we should know soon. It is dense and structurally sound, yes. Oops. Flip it around. Okay. this is going to be the front area here that locks the keyboard into place, I would imagine, which I have now seen is actually how a piano works. This part on an actual grand piano, the front gets removed, these side pieces come out, and that's how the whole keyboard mechanism comes out. So that is an accurate way to do this. Ooh, that is nice. That works really well. Okay. Keys still aren't as perfectly flush as I would like them to be, and I think that might end up being just how it is. Ah, and these little tabs down below are actually how it works as well. So we're gonna lock it into place. I have to pick it up and look around. There should be a hole right down here. There it is. Nope, I missed it. Okay, let's have a look. Here it is. Oh, hello there, motherboard. We have put the keyboard into. There we go. Put the keyboard into the piano, and now have a front. It actually rolls very nicely too. So the silly, ridiculous piano casters that they all come with actually work pretty well here. I'd say they work better on this set than they usually do on a piano. That's the end of bag 15. We are now on to bag 16. Thank you. See a lot of black paneling here. I think we're gonna do the keyboard cover, the lid. Oh, what are those? Oh, wow. I'm sure I've seen these pieces before, but I can't place them. Cordy, if you're out there, maybe you can chime in here. So these pieces have studs across the top, but no hole on the bottom. So it's actually flat. It's the reverse of how pieces usually are. And that's really interesting. So what we're accomplishing here is that instead of having so SNOT is the normal acronym given to Lego for studs not on top. And that is what we're seeing here across this entire set. Everything is smooth. There's no studs sticking out. It's all flat pieces. And impressively, it looks like we're doing SNOB, which I don't know if that's actually a real acronym or not, but I'm going to make it one right now because it works, because it's studs not on bottom. Or perhaps it would be HNOB for holes not on bottom. But they are finishing off every possible angle of this thing, which this was unexpected and is yet one more way that this set is completely blowing my mind right now. Because of course, when you have the lid lifted up here, you're not going to want to see a whole bunch of holes across the bottom of this. You're going to want to have it be a nice flat finish. That is so impressive. I'm going to have to look up to see those flat pieces. See, we've been using these on the fronts of the keys, and this is a 2x2, which is a little bit more common, where it's studs on this side, but no holes on the other side where it's flat. That's a little bit more common, but the 1x3 ones that we're using here, I'm gonna look those up after this stream is over and see if I actually have any sets that have those, because it is entirely possible that I might not. It's a pretty unique piece. Oh, there's something else really cool on this bag that I'll be holding up shortly. I just noticed it sitting over here. So it is related somewhat to the lack of stickers. Okay, 17 all the way across here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go. Okay. Flip her over. And we're doing these guys. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, well, 33 of these. So this piece is the one that I was looking at in particular. So that logo right there, the Lego logo, this is cool because this was the original logo that Lego used back in 19, I want to say 1936. I'm not sure if that's right or not. I think it is. But the look of that logo actually is perfect for having the classic. It looks like that piece was used in the 2019 Batmobile. It is all in the new Mickey Mini set. Okay, so I haven't. Cordy, have you done your Mickey and Minnie set yet? Sounds like maybe you have. And the 2019 Batmobile. That must be the one. This guy over here. Oh, you can't see it. The one that was the 1989 Batmobile. The one from that movie. Kind of a larger one. I think I might remember it from that. Okay. Yeah, it's a fairly unique piece. You have not built your Mickey and Minnie yet. All right. It definitely takes the fit and finish, the polish of these things to an entirely new level. Being able to not just avoid having studs showing, but avoiding the holes on the bottoms of pieces as well. That's an entirely different level. In fact, having all of those new pieces, that might be part of, since this set was originally designed in 2000, well, since it made it to the Ideas site on 2018, it is entirely possible that these pieces being new after it had been submitted are part of the reason why there are almost 1,000 extra pieces in the official Lego set here than there were in the original Ideas set. Not having had access to these, that's one thing that I always wonder on the Idea sets. Sometimes they have ideas for minifigs that look like people. Like, for example, the Friends apartment. That set has minifigs that look like the Friends characters, and they obviously must have been made specifically for that set, but they are user created. So somebody had come up with these ideas to have minifigs that look like the Friends, and I don't really know what my point is here. I think it's a chicken and egg thing. Like, the Friends set gets finalized, and then Lego says, okay, well, maybe we'll print some minifig models that look like those Friends. That must be what they do. This is a big flat lid, but it's nice and strong. You get that by pancaking a lot of these plates together, which we saw a lot of that in the Nintendo set as well, which I'm sure all of you out there watching right now remember. The Nintendo set and the Death Star. We were making our pizza pancakes for all of the different wedges for the levels of the Death Star. Oh! Oh, there, Taco Cub. Okay. I'm gonna need to shine this thing. There's so much flat, glossy black all over this piano. I'm gonna need to polish and wax it. Okay. Keep orienting these things correctly. So we have the original Lego logo that's going to be visible when the lid is up. I think we're going to have it somewhere else, I would think, but TBD. Because yes, you would want to see the logo while somebody's playing the piano, but when the lid is down and it's not in use, you would still want to have the logo be visible. I imagine in roughly the same spot, so we'll see. Okay. Flip her over and do a whole bunch of these. Okay, we need 14, which is all of those and 2 of those. So Hide the hinge better on the piano than the NES. I'm gonna say I think there's with as perfect as this set has been, I would be really surprised if it isn't hidden better. Build with glove. Well, we'll see. That's what I should have done. Okay, so this goes here. That's tough to get into place. There we go. Well, that's different. The actual set on the Lego Ideas page, the lid actually... Oh, well, it kind of goes down. It's the clearance is a little not good enough for it to do it. On the official Ideas video that came along with this, the guy tipped down the front of the lid and it actually soft closed the whole way. It looked exactly like a piano, but well, maybe it just needs to go a few more times. Yeah, that might end up working itself out. Oh, and we're done with bag 16. On to bag 17. We're flying through these things today. We're on the downhill side. Well, hello to Montana. Oh, I see it. Here you are. I can fix it. I'll fix it for you. There. Lex hit her toe on her way over here and it caused the tray to have some... Oh, my fingers are too big to get... I sort of fixed it. There. W40, that'll do it. Oh, shucks. Okay, well, once again, we have monotony. So these are the top of the dampeners. These things. So we need to build 17 of them. Thought we were past the boring stuff. Apologies. Try to crank through these as fast as I can. Hopefully these will give them enough gravity on their side. Yeah. Tweezers would help. These, when you hit the pedal, you can see these go up, but don't always necessarily go down reliably, and I'm hoping that having these on top will give them enough weight that they will go down on their own without me having to manually intervene. That's a better way of looking at it, Cordy. I'll try to keep that in mind. Five, 12 to go. We're past the halfway mark. 7 to go. Five to go. $13. 14. 15. Dos mas. Which is Spanish for 2 more. You were unaware. And 17. Okay, now let's attach all of these here, if I can. Okay. Okay, those are all in place. Oh, they work way better now. That's wonderful. Wonderful news. Okay. Next up is some big, long rod thing that I don't know what this is. That, and that, and that. Okay. Waiting to see what this is for. Well, still don't know, but it goes over here. I don't really know what this is. Okay. Ah, music stand. This is a piece that I am well aware of. That guy, 3. Long flat one. Tiny little guy. Okay, we need to keep making sure that these are nice and firmly engaged all the way across. I just bowled through all of those right there. I messed it up. They were nice. Whoops-a-doodle. For these. So many different interesting parts of a piano to build. I wouldn't even really, it wouldn't even occur to me to think of how many different interesting parts there are to something like this. But building through here, having so much variety and having things that are important but different, it's been such a fun build. Okay, for those together. Those together. Okay. And now keep building up higher on it. Okay. And just to give it the perfect, nice polish and round off it needs, of course, we're going to put those there and make sure we cover up all of the studs so there's nothing showing. That's good. Oh, yeah, no studs showing there either. Yep. Okay. Go there and right there. These and that's okay. All right, now we get to use the gold bits. All right, and that will attach to here, obviously. With a perfect fit. And we need to finish it off with a whole bunch of flat bits, because that's the name of the game with this set, is perfection. Absolute perfection. Alright, and that just slides right in up there, the way it should. And it looks like the things are already in. Get on there. Come on. Okay, and this will actually prop itself up with these little things back here. That's perfect. That's the end of that bag. Man, we were just flying through the end of this here. 45 minutes, we done, yeah. Thank you. Alright, this appears to be the top of the piano, it would seem, so, at least part of it. Okay. Ooh. There's not as much visual variety with this tray, but this, I like this a lot. This means we're going to have a very consistent, beautiful, big, flat black piece here, and I'm excited to see what this looks like when it's done. Whoa! Almost got away from me.
Whoa, what? Whoa!
More. Long rod is to hold the... Bethany, you are so smart. That's exactly what that is. Glad you're here. Thank you. Very good. Okay, what are we doing here? We need an elbow bit, some slanty bits. So we have a bendy corner here, and I think that's going to handle the bending and folding that the piano requires. So I think it's actually going to be a functional bendy bit as opposed to a one that simply lets us get an interesting angle. And functional bendy bits are the best kind. There aren't enough functional bendy bits in these sets, and it's what we like. Okay. All right, now we get to do just a whole lot of vertical building here. One fella. Also, I think I mentioned this already, but next build, I didn't want to mess with this one too much because I was already trying too many. I was already trying a lot of new things, but I think the next build, Lex had a great idea for a better place for me to put my monitor and camera, so that when I'm building, you're not going to see this, like, it's not going to look like there's a constant earthquake on the face cam. So we'll hopefully have that set up better for the next build. Not really that any of you have complained about it, but we can always strive to improve ourselves. One of the quotes from Steve Jobs that I really like is about that, and not having it directly in front of me, I'm going to paraphrase it here because I know I wouldn't be able to get it exactly right, but he pretty much says, whenever you do something good, don't get caught up on it, and don't get hung up thinking about how great of a job you did. Appreciate what you did and move on and go do something else great. So don't get stuck on your own successes and think that means you can't continue to do better.
Don't let your own successes stagnate your ability.
And as I've been raving about over and over, we have some very perfect, beautiful curves that I'm sure are going to line up perfectly. The set is not done impressing me. Okay. Long one. A little. I did. Yeah, I think the closest piece that I can think of that's had something like this in recent Lego history, and by recent Lego history, I'm going to call that in the last 10 years, was the Imperial shuttle, which in Star Wars, that's the one that it's a big white shuttle that has one vertical stabilizer wing and then two other ones that come out like this and can fold up and down. And so coming at you, it kind of makes it sort of a triangle, like a triangle, a star, kind of like the Mercedes logo. And then it can bend the wings up. And building that set, you have those wings are just a single piece wide, big, flat pieces of Lego brick. And it was similarly a lot of fun to have a big, flat, wide piece of Lego from that one. And that set, that's probably close to, I want to say it maybe came out 7 years ago. So slightly older in the sense of recent Lego history. So many hinges. This is serious business. There are so many hinges on here. They really want to make sure that this thing is firm, which by all means it absolutely would need to be. With as large of a piece as it is. I broke it. Okay, let's see if I have all of the pieces. I broke it when trying to do the exact... I was trying to firm it up and make sure it was all nice and tight together, and in doing so, destroyed it. Okay, there we go. Problem solved. just further proves my point about having a big, flat, wide set of pieces that they're not exactly the most structurally sound. I could easily take this right now and with very little pressure, like push down right here, and this thing will just snap right in half because they don't have. I mentioned before having studs on different sides that you could lay strips along, and that really holds it together really well. Similarly, sometimes you have pieces, if you have a little bit more room to work, you can have pieces like this and use one of these sorts of rods and push them down through the pieces to give them some more structure as well. This, there's nothing you could do unless they changed the way this was designed to maybe be a little bit thicker, but as it is, there's really no way that you could make this any more solid while maintaining the beautiful, pristine, clean, black, flat look that the whole thing has. Okay, however, that's done. We're done with this bag, and on to the next. So that was half of it. Looks like 19 is the other half. So, thank you. I need a sip of water here. Okay. 19. Just gonna keep building up. Around this way. Incidentally, I think this part's actually gonna look really cool when I flip over and check my time lapse here. I think watching this structure build itself up vertically is going to look pretty awesome. Naturally, we're going to do some fancy stuff over here because this is going to need to have another curve. There's the curve. Very good. Bit. Hinge. One of those. Long fella and short fella. Now there's also a whole lot of connector pins sticking out here across the face. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be for. Oh, you know what those could be? that might be what's going to give it its stability. Once we're done with this, I'm guessing in bag 20, because there aren't any here in bag 19. I wonder if we're going to put supports across here. There might be some really big long pieces that are going to hold this together. That would be really smart if that's what's happening. So we'll see if my hunch plays off. But that would give us, and it could be on the inside. I bet that's what's going to happen. We'll find out. Might have been a tad bit too hasty in my assessment that they weren't going to have better structure here. And the answer was right in front of me the whole time.
The whole time?
The whole time. Okay. Those and two of those. And every single stud is perfectly, like, there's one rounded off right there. It's like they've literally thought of everything. Every single stud there could possibly be any thought put into, they've put thought into. This is a complete set. Top to bottom, soup to nuts, as Mike Cordy used to say a lot at work. Soup to nuts. Get in there. There you go. All right. A little struggle. Okay. Yes. Chris, you are correct, sir. This thing is an absolute monster. Okay. One more hinge for good measure, of course. Top. Another rounding area. There. Okay, and then just finishing off the top of it, of course. Make it all flat everywhere. And that's the end of that bag. Okay, bag 20. Ha! Yes, and I can see in the picture there that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some supports across this thing to firm it up. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, let's move that forward so we have a little room to build. basically making cross support beams here. So that we don't have any more mistakes like the one I already made. Okay, this one's clearly going to be the big one right here. And even the supports are all finished with flat tiles. Just awesome. I almost feel like I should send Lego a thank you note for making this a set. This is just so great. Okay, so this is oriented that way. Yep. And then this one goes across here. Yep. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And that will give the lid right here that it needs to have. Yep. Just like a piano. Imagine that. Alright, now let's do a little bit more. We can have some thinner supports now. This support that goes across here is the lip that when the lid closes, it'll come over and it actually makes it so there's no dust that can get in there. So this one needed to be a bit thicker. The rest of it, they can have some fairly thin supports. Yes. But naturally, it does need to have some have a hinge on it. Oops. There we go. And of course, we gotta finish off the top, make it all nice and flush, nice and smooth. No studs, snot, which is just a really unfortunate acronym, but that's what they call it.
Hey, it might be unfortunate, but you remember it, don't you?
I do remember it, yes. It's not as bad as awful, which is Adult Friends of Lego. AFOL. We've got a lot of weird acronyms. Alright. That's good. And one more hinged bit here. So the hinges for this that we're making right now are going to be what allows the lid to lift. This is hinged to put the deck back here, but you'll see. I'll have it done, and if you cannot visualize it yet, you will be able to see it very soon. This is going to work so well. And we are pretty much done with this bag. We are done with this bag. Okay. This goes across here. You want me to lift that up for you? Thank you. Okay. Alright, that's done. Yeah, that is, yeah, having these supports, these cross supports, obviously it holds it together. So now we don't have the issue like I had where I broke the thing apart. So this very nicely rolls around. These will connect in here. And it so very perfectly fits together. Holy cow. I mean, obviously it was going to, but wow. Actually, we're gonna leave that all like it is until we finish off bag 21, which is the stool, and then we'll open up our piano. So we'll leave it as is right now. Leave it for the grand finale. We are on the final bag, so home stretch. Yeah, it was definitely this set was front loaded a tad, not too much. I feel like we did a pretty good job of spacing it out time wise. I think finishing with all of the keys yesterday was the perfect breaking point. It was a labor of love, as Cordy called it. Calls it. So. Yeah. So I think that when you do a reveal, please rotate the piano around so we can see it from all angles. Oh, I absolutely will. Don't you worry none. I'm interested to see how we're going to accomplish this right now. So what we're building is the piano bench, and one of the things with this piano bench is they wanted it to be like a proper piano bench where there's a knob on the side that you can twist to the knob and it raises and lowers the bench. So I'm curious to see how they're going to accomplish that. I would have thought that, there is a little a worm screw here. So, and they're on the very next step. I feel like I'm always one step ahead with the things that I'm talking about, and then all I need to do is turn the page, and then it actually just shows what I've been trying to say. So, maybe I talk too much. Or a worm gear, not a worm screw, worm gear. What a worm screw is, it's called a screw. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do, Bethany. Exactly correct. If there was any doubt, if anybody had any doubt about my Lego fluency, I think that helps solidify. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. There's obviously going to need to be some more pieces, but you can see here, turning the worm gear moves this part up and down. So I'm not sure how that's going to translate into the raising and lowering of the seat yet, but that's how it's going to be accomplished. Well, that's weird. One forward and one backward. Huh. Okay, this is getting very complicated and detailed very quickly. That needs to stay forward. Ooh. Those bits go there. Okay, that goes through. That goes all the way through. That goes all the way through. Now we cap it off. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what that effectively does is it gives us a scissor scissor hinge. I don't know the proper word for this. but it'll give us the butterfly, not butterfly, scissor action to make the seat go up and down. This is gonna work. This is cool. Well, obviously it's gonna work, but I like understanding how it works.
You didn't make that with my dad.
Get on there. Okay. That goes that way. That'll go through there. There. Okay. Okay, now that I actually have all the pieces in place, it actually works. So you can see twisting the knob will raise and lower the seat. That's pretty cool. All right, now let's build presumably the seat. Oh no, we're building the other half and then we'll build the seat. Get over. Come on. Okay. Oh, and there's a twisty knob on either side, so you can rotate from either side, up, down. Neat. Okay. That alone, I mean, this. Just keep saying it over and over again, but this set is so interesting. Every component, there's all these different pieces to it. Who would have thought that you would put so much engineering into making a functioning seat that can go up and down? It's a completely perfectly well thought out set. It's so impressive. Every last piece of it has been engineered. Love it. Okay. Couple of these guys on the sides. Okay, we'll keep it oriented the same way. I don't think it's going to matter, but we're going to keep it oriented the same way anyway. So those stay like that. We have 6 of these. Putting pieces on the side to really hold it together. Okay, it wants us to lay that down flat. That's great. Okay, 2 of these, and the instructions are the ingredients are duplicated. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Feel like they should have had us build the bench first, because right now I'm building this and I'm having fun building the bench. The bench is impressive, but I'm so excited to open and show off the piano right now that I feel like I'm forcing myself to enjoy the bench as much as I possibly can, but I'm so in awe that it's hard for me to enjoy it as much as I should be. And if it had been the first piece of the build, then we'd be done. We'd be able to enjoy the piano. Oh, that's great too. They even made it so that when it's shut flat, there's no studs sticking out. Holy cow! Every angle of this thing is perfect. Absolute perfection. You know, I brought up Steve Jobs earlier, and this is making me think of another story about him, and I'm not going to go into the full story, but he had, one time a long time ago, bought a piano and put it in the lobby to inspire a lot of the engineers to... He bought a few different things, and one of the things he bought 3 things. He bought a stereo, a piano, and a motorcycle, and put them in the lobby. And this piano, I feel like, could have inspired them as much as the actual piano that he had bought and put in the lobby, for just how impressive a job they did of engineering this thing. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, plate on top. Oh, because we're going to make... Oh, this is great. Another quote from Beethoven, my Aunt Judy's favorite. Music is the electrical soil in which the spirit lives, thinks, and invents. Ooh. Okay. Okay, and to give this thing the plush, sort of a diamond top look that they usually have, we're using these domes, which are usually, you usually put these on the bottoms of sets to be kind of like feet without necessarily being feet. It gives it just a little bit softer of a bottom that you can slide around easier on a tabletop, for example. They're not usually meant to be seen, but in this particular case, this is a perfect use case for them to be going the direction they are and actually be on the top, because it makes it look like a diamond pattern embroidered leather whatever top of a bench. It's a softer bottom. Yes. Okay. Just a few pieces left here. Flip this guy over. Alright, and naturally we're going to finish it off with the flat pieces, because that's what we do. Okay, there we go. That's it. And sadly there's no Lego Mini, but a tiny little Victor Borgia would be hilarious. I was talking about the Dusseldorf pianos on the first day, and he enjoyed a Dusseldorf piano. He was one of the guys who played those. Okay, and the last piece, which isn't really a piece, which could have easily been a sticker, but they didn't. They printed it on here, is Playday. Oh, and it says name, Donnie Chen. It's actually music. I'm going to go play this when we're done here, because it's actually correct printed music. But let's check out our piano. So first of all, we need to adjust our bench to be the correct height for playing, whatever that may be. So let's put our bench down, and okay, they talk about a whole bunch of stuff. That's fine. So the piano, I don't even know what the best angle for this is going to be. So you can lift up the lid. The music stand will raise up. If I can raise it up, actually. Let's use the thing that Bethany noticed. That'll hold up the piano. The lid. Oops. We have the music stand here. That just came off of its little studs. Get back on there. Alright, so we'll lift up our stand here. And you can't really see it on the back, but they actually have it's a 2 brick deep wedge that has gradations in it, so you can actually hold this up at different heights, which I hadn't noticed originally, but that's also just a really nice touch. Put it right there. We'll put our music up. Lift up our thing. When you play, you can see these lifting when you hit the keys. If you push down on the pedal, they will all lift up so that when you play, the strings are free to continue to vibrate and not be dampened. That's amazing. We'll spin it around here so you can see it from all angles. It is a very large set. I'm holding it up here. Let me studs behind the music stand. By Jove, they are. They should have used flat tiles for that. Good eye. Let me switch cameras to that one so I can hold this up in front of the big camera here. This is a very large set. Ugh. So in comparison to my head, you can see. So, like, it is. Normally I have a span of, I want to say 10 or 11 keys, and here I get 2 full octaves. So that's a little bit bigger than a normal keyboard. But this piano is absolutely beautiful from any and every angle you could possibly want to look at it from. I don't want that to fall off. The bottom is kind of looks like a wooden. It's the only angle that it isn't all perfectly black, and I think that might be the one thing that they might have been able to do, because if you crawl under a piano, actually no, that's not even true. If you crawl under the piano, you see all of the braces and supports, and so it's not all black on the bottom. So that's actually perfect the way it is.
You know, you keep holding it up, but you're not showing the time I was giving.
Oh. So let me switch back over to camera 1. I love the action. I love that you can play the keys and the things move. It's amazing. Once I'm done, sorry I can't do this since my camera is actually taking the video. I'm gonna go play with this now. I'm gonna turn the video off and pair it with my phone and then watch the thing play itself, because it'll do that. So this was my favorite build that I've ever done on here. Yeah, the red, every detail that they put in this thing was absolutely amazing. So thank you all for joining me for this one. This is my favorite set that I've ever done on here. I don't know how we're ever going to top this. This is about as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Cordy, I might have to FaceTime you separately after this if you want to see. I don't think I have a good format for how to make that work on my stream here. But thank you all so much. This was wonderful. See you guys next weekend. I have no idea what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be this cool. There's going to be no set that ever lives up to this. So if this is the last stream you ever watch, I don't blame you. This is as good as it gets. But thank you so much. See you guys next weekend for whatever, and try to stay cool. Bye, everyone.